Do you want to really succeed? Do you want to really succeed?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes. It's an affirmative yes.
Yes.
The question is, why haven't you succeeded to that level? What is the gap? You get it? And I want to center on a story in the Bible. John 5, 1 to 9. I'll just read it. You guys know this story. Now, a certain man was there who had an infirmity, 38 years. This man was sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had been there in that condition a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be made well?" Listen to how the man answered. The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. But while I'm coming, another steps down before me." You hear what the man is saying? So there was this well. There's an angel who used to come and stir the waters, and anybody first people to enter into the pool would get healed. This guy had been waiting for so long, and every time people would go ahead of him. So Jesus said to him, rise, take up your bed and walk. Rise, take up your bed and walk. And immediately the man was made well. He never even entered the pool to be healed, but he still got his healing. But for me, the real statement that touches my heart is what he said. "Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool." He didn't even answer Jesus. Jesus just said, "Do you want to be well? Do you want to be made well?" And his answer was, "I have no man to put me into the pool." And the point here is, everybody needs a helper. Every destiny needs a divine help. The gap between you, where you are today, and where you are supposed to be, your predestined success, is only one thing. It will take only one thing and one thing: a helper. He didn't need medicine. He didn't need a miracle. What he needed was what? A man. And Jesus showed up. Yeah? So, this is so close to my heart, because when I look at my own life, I would never have come this far, if I didn't have what? Helpers along the way. You get it? And even today, I still need a what? I still need a helper. But it's not just that I also need to recognize myself as a helper to others. You get it? There are people I have met them, or they have met me, and all they needed was to meet someone like me. And their lives changed. And there are people I have met, and my life changed. You get it? I remember after post-election violence, I used to, we were young men those days, so we used to have coffee at Java, the one on Koinange Street. So we'd meet there, have burgers, chips, what young people eat. Joyce, you are smiling, eh? I used to be young too. I'm still young. But when Joyce looks at me, she thinks differently. She's looking at me. So, I was meeting people I had never met before. But there was something that we all had in common. You know, people had iPods, they were listening to music, and like, what kind of music do you listen? And everybody was listening to worship music. So we had something in common. But something very profound happened. Two of the people I was meeting there, new friends, they were like, this guy, if he met this friend of ours, I think they can make a very good couple. So they didn't tell us, and they didn't tell me. They arranged a bash. So they threw a barbecue, and they invited me and so many other people, but they never told anyone or any of us. But the idea was the two of us to meet. Anyway, I was doing CFA exams and I didn't want to go. Moses, you know how difficult they are. But I was this friend of mine, he pushed me. And at 4 p.m., I gave up. I said, okay, I'm coming. So I got into the car and went there. I arrived, as I was arriving, people were leaving. Or rather, some people were leaving. And as I entered, I just saw this table with juices. And being a bachelor in the midst of preparing for exams, first of all, I needed to attend to my tummy. So I went to pour myself what? A glass of juice. And as I poured myself a glass of juice, my face was facing down. I'm looking at the juice, and I saw there's somebody who is at the opposite side of the table. And I looked up, and I said, hi, I'm Pius. And she said, hi, I'm Helima. And I said, you have a beautiful name. She smiled and left. And I said, these 22-year-olds, you know, in my mind, you know. But I didn't know that was divine appointment, because later on, now when she became my wife, so you see how I met my wife? I was helped. She told me she had met someone who told her, when you meet your husband, he will tell you you have a beautiful name. Exactly the words I said. And I move on. Anyway, the point is this. If this guy who pushed me did not push me, and if I did not accept, would I have met my wife? I would never have met my wife. And I believe all of you have similar stories, yeah? And some are still being cooked. So everybody needs what? Everybody needs a helper. And I'm telling you, we are the ones who are here running Nabu Capital today. But let me ask you guys the question. Irene, do you think you're the best HR in the world to be in that position that you're in? No, isn't it? Joyce? No. Moses? Then how is it that it is you? Yeah? There are people with exactly the same qualifications, they even work harder than you, but they're at home jobless. And not for a few days, for months and for years. I can tell you the difference. You have already met your helper. They are yet to meet their helper. So I'm giving you a secret that the only secret that makes a really huge difference. You get, which is what? Divine helper. Let me just get to some main points here. So why do we all need a helper? The first one is A helper sees what others overlook. A helper sees what others overlook. Somebody noticed you, Joyce. Somebody noticed you, Moses. Yeah? Somebody saw you when you had nothing. You know, I've heard Moses' story. You get, eh? When nobody could have imagined you in the position you're in, somebody saw something in you that nobody else could see. Somebody saw something in me. I remember when I was looking for my first job. I was so frustrated, Maureen. Can you imagine? I was looking for a job, and I couldn't find a job. And every time I went for interviews, I was being asked for experience. And I'm like, I've been studying all my life. When was I supposed to have experience? So I was frustrated. I had CPA qualifications. I was a graduate. I had the credentials that everybody would dream of to have when you're finishing school. I was supposed to be a prime candidate for any employment. You get, eh? And I remember I was at Anniversary Tower. I still can remember. I was walking outside Anniversary Towers, and I say to myself, I'm going to offer my services for free. And anybody who will dare give me a chance, they will know that they have a gem. And, you know, I was completely at the end of the rope. I was like, I'm done. This is too much. Not too long from that. In fact, same day, I don't even think 1 hour had passed, I got a call. And this gentleman said, my name is Kimani Carrots. My name is Mr. Carrots. And I have your CV. I would like you to come for an interview. So I asked him when. I said, now. I said, what? So I went. He interviewed me. And then he said, done. I'll give you the job. So come tomorrow. Come tomorrow, because it used to be an audit firm. He was supposed to send me to one of his customers who needed an accountant. So I came the following day. As I was seated at the reception, I got a call. This time it was AAR. They say, we are calling you from AAR. We want you to come for an interview. I'm like, yesterday I was. Yeah. They're calling me for an interview. And I'm here at the reception. Yeah, I'm at the reception waiting to go inside the office so I'm sure where I'll be working. So I'm in conflict. Because how can I go for an interview on my first day? Yeah. Anyway, I gathered my strength. I walked into his office and I said, Mr. Carrot, I know you want to show me my first job, but I just wanted to let you know I've been called for an interview somewhere today at 2 p.m. and I don't know what to do. He looked at me and he said, I have never met a man who is so honest. And he said, I'll take you, I'll show you where I want to send you to start working, and then I'll take you for the interview. Can you imagine? He was like, he's never seen somebody who was so frank, so honest. So he took me to his client. He explained to his client, I'll be back. But after that, he went, took me and dropped me outside the AR. And as we were going to AR, I was asking, I don't even know who AR is. He was telling me, AR is this insurance company, this is what they do. He was preparing me for the interview. What do you call that person? Is that? It's a helper. So I entered AR. I met this wonderful lady called Margaret Njoroge. She was the chief accountant. She interviewed me, and as I was answering questions, before I could finish the answer, she would fill the rest of the answer for me. So by the time I was done, she was like, "You're in." Now I have 2 jobs. Yesterday I didn't have any. I didn't have a job. Now I have 2 jobs. But the one I liked was this one for? Yeah. So I have to go back to this guy who's been so good to me and tell him, I'm sorry. That old man became my mentor for some time. He would meet, I joined AR with his blessings and he was so happy for me, but he would call me at a Nairobi club. We eat. He teaches me like the way I'm teaching you guys and tells me about life. You get, eh? And how God is important. You get, eh? Do you think I will ever forget that man? That man is the reason why I sit here today. Mr. Carrot. Yeah? So, the question is, what did he see? He saw something that everybody else was overlooking. He didn't see experience. He saw potential experience in the future. And he said, by the way, he said, young man, you'll go very far. And that's the story. You need a helper who will see you in the future and will make a commitment today about you based on what he sees about you in the future. So a helper sees what others overlook. This man had been there for decades, every day, religiously coming. He knows that pool of water, if I enter, I'll get healed. But he never gets in. There are others who are always faster than him. You get, eh? And maybe they're also being helped, isn't it? So a helper doesn't just see your situation. They see the potential beneath it. Yeah? They don't pity you. They position you. Mr. Carrot positioned me. He saw me in today. He saw me in 2025. He saw me 25 years ahead. Yeah? And it's actually, you can see what it says in John 5:6. When Jesus saw him, lying, yeah, there, and he learned that he had been in this condition for a long time. He saw something. Jesus saw this man walking. When everybody else was seeing a man who could not even move, Jesus saw this man even walking. So let's close this. God sends people who don't just see where you are, but where you are called to be. God sends people who just don't see where you are, but where you're called to be. So that's one. The second thing about a helper listens even when you speak brokenness. A helper listens even when you speak brokenness. This man didn't even answer Jesus' question directly. He just poured out his frustration. Yeah? He said, I have no man. Newton, you probably are saying the same thing. I have no man. Yeah? You know your potential. You know you can get there, but say, I have no man. Yeah? Irene, how many interviews before you got here? The group? Eh? Three. Three of them came to naught. Is the fourth one that came, that brought you here? The third one.
And I was tired now.
You were tired.
I was tired. I was like, I am done.
Yes. You see.
And it's years passing. Like
And it's not, yes, it's not like in months. Eh?
Yes.
It's years of waiting. I have no man. Yeah. So a helper listens even when you speak with brokenness. There's something about waiting for so long, Winnie. You wait, and it's not, this husband is not coming. You wait, this job is not coming. You start being broken. You know, you start losing who you truly are. You start being accustomed to this situation. This guy, after coming for many decades, you get, he only knew there is only one way to get healed, is to get into those waters. And because everybody gets there before him, he never even expected to get inside the water. He was broken. So he said, I have no man. So it means this man, even as he was coming, so that he enters into the pool, he was hoping he would meet a man who would help him to get into the pool. So he was not even coming to take himself to the pool. He was coming to wait for a man who can take him to the pool. Yeah? I have no man. So a true helper listens. Yeah? Even when your response is tired, jaded, yeah? Or even confused. Maureen, you had your share. Am I talking something that you're relating with? Yes. You look like you've had a nice life. All smooth. Yeah, everything has been falling in place.
I'm very reflective.
You're very reflective.
Reflective indeed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you been tired, jaded, and confused?
Everything.
Everything. This career is not coming together. You get, Everybody of your age is just flying high. But you are stuck. Yeah? Everybody is getting inside the pool before you. They are faster than you. Yeah? So, this is so important because what Mr. Keret did for me, he saw something in me. And then when I came to tell him that I have been called for another interview, and I was so broken because I didn't even know how do you communicate that on the first day. Moses, you're recruiting them for the first day and they're going for another interview. Winnie, tell me if that is not a deal breaker. Yeah? It's a deal breaker. I was broken. But guess what? He listened to my brokenness. And in my brokenness, he saw something beautiful. He saw this man is so genuine. Yeah. I still remember Mr. Keret was a Kalenjin. You get, And I was actually competing with other candidates who were Kalenjin. And I remember him pointing and saying, I like you, this quality makes you stand out. He stood above even tribe, his own tribe. He said, I'm going with this man. He listened to my brokenness. He saw that man who was frustrated on the streets like, now I'm going to offer my skills for free. He listened to my brokenness. And this is the beauty about a helper. Because when you think about, let's say, Pius as your helper, you think of coming, Maureen, rehearsed. I'm in my best shape today. Today I woke up on the right side of the bed, Today I have conquered everything. Everything is lined up. I'm ready for pious. That's not how a helper comes. A true helper listens to you in your brokenness. It's when in your tears, when you're done, they still see something in you, and they still listen to something in your through your jadedness. They listen to your authentic you, who God called you to be. They see and they listen. That kind of helper is something that I don't know. I remember when I was starting Nabo Capital, and I went to Nigeria. I was visiting Nigerian breweries. We were waiting to go and see the plant. So you entered into this room where, you put on your safety gear. And as I was waiting, in fact, I was leaning behind her. I was leaning on a window. And the door was just right, like on my right-hand side. And this man walks in, staggering, tipsy, Winnie, staggered into the room. And he was, now his back was towards me. And I'm looking at him from behind. And I say, I think I know this head. And I'm like, Patrick. And he looks back behind and he sees me and says, hey, Pius, how are you doing? It's called Patrick Nelson. I had been used to be a broker. And it was a very strange place to meet him. So as I was buying securities, he's one of the guys who would sell securities to me. So he's like, hey, Pius, how are you doing? And we just got into this conversation. And then he asked me, by the way, what are you doing? What are you up to? And I say, I'm looking at some opportunities in Tanzania, and I'm really convinced this is massive. And he tells me to tell him more about it, and I tell him more about it, and he's like, Pius, I'm interested. And he said, when you get back, we'll talk. He was based in London, I was based here. So I got back here, and I was working with another partner also from London. They were supposed to be the guys who were supposed to take that particular deal, or rather co-invest with me. And I did all the paperwork. Everything was done. Everything, Moses. You know the way you agree with a partner? We are going this way. We did it. We engaged Citibank, New York. They drew the agreements, everything done. And then, last minute, they grew cold feet. They're like, Pius, we can't go along with you. I'm broken. Then I remembered my friend. I called Patrick. I said, Patrick, you remember the thing we spoke about? I have the paperwork. I have everything lined up. He's like, let me get my boss to be involved. We spoke. That year, got 10 billion shillings from them. 10 billion. Moses, you know how much it takes to mobilize 10 billion?
Yes.
We got 10 billion from one customer. Yeah? And we were charging 2 to 3%. We made our first year, because it came in between, we made 100 billion revenues from that client. And the following year, we made 200 million revenues. I was broken. But guess what? God sent me a helper. You get, eh? Who came in staggering. He staggered. God had to bring him to me staggering. And that's the thing. You see, someone likes to tell me, Pius, God does not come to you dressed in trousers and skirts. He comes through people. And that person is a helper. You get it? And when that helper comes, he listens through your brokenness. He comes when you're actually broken, not when you're strong. Yeah? James 1:19 says, be quick to listen, but slow to speak. Be quick to listen, but slow to speak. James 1:19. And this is also us. Remember, in this conversation, we are talking double-sided. It's you need a helper, and you're also someone's helper. So as a helper, be quick to listen and slow to speak. Because it could be Maureen, just somebody coming from school and they just send you a CV. They say, Maureen, I know you're an accountant. Can you help me find a job? And you could be the Mr. Carrot of today. And that person forever will remember you. You get it? So be quick to listen and slow to speak. And this is what this is how I'd like to conclude it. Your healing often starts when someone simply hears your pain. Your healing often starts when someone simply hears your pain. For me, this is one of the big points about the helper. You know, Irene, I know you long to be a wife to someone. And I like how God calls a wife what? A helper. Why did God call a wife a helper? The only other helper we know is what? The Holy Spirit. How can God privilege a woman to be called the same name that He calls the Holy Spirit?
Just reading your mind, I wanted to ask you.
You get it? You know why? Because when you are someone's helper, you're not their helper when they are at their strongest point. You're their helper at their weakest point. And guess what, Winnie? All the women who are looking for husbands, they are looking for the strongest husbands, isn't it? They are looking for the one who is prospering, house done, isn't it? Cars, several. Bank account, fat, isn't it? But Joyce, what if your husband loses all those things? Will he still be your husband? You get it? A true wife will, those will be bonuses. I'm not saying they are bad. Those will be bonuses. They will be add-ons. But let me tell you, I really believe in Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. I'm telling you, every time, I look like I've been married too many times. The 2 times I've been married, I've gone back to God and said, now God, I want to see this Proverbs 18:22. Because a woman comes with uncommon favor, isn't it? There's a psalm that says, houses and wealth are inherited from fathers. But a prudent wife comes from the Lord, isn't it? You can inherit everything, but a wife, for a man, for us men, let me tell you, your wife is like the biggest factor after God for you to ever succeed. So, and I'm speaking to the ladies, I want you to know that you have this special factor about you. Wherever you step in, you bring favor. Maureen, your husband cannot struggle with life because of you. Because you come with favor. You get it? And wherever you'll enter, tell him, by the way, your life has started today. I I have experienced that, and I'm experiencing that. Newton, don't say you'll get married when you're 40, when you have everything. Why? Because the wife comes with favor. Isn't it? So, brokenness. So you can see the helper is especially there when we are in our times, when the other person is in a season of brokenness. Everybody needs somebody that they can go to, and they will not be judged based on performance. And by the way, these words also are used quite interchangeably. Yes, the Bible says that your wife is a helper. That's fine. But that is a primary role for a woman. But even your husband plays a role of a helper. Now I'm getting deep into the spiritual stuff, but I'll leave it there. You get it? There are times it is your husband who will be a helper to you because you need. Joyce, don't you want to be in a place where you can be yourself? Yeah? If it is a bad day, you are not pretending you're not having a bad day. If you're in a season that you are down for a long time, there is one person who backs you and says, I am not letting you go. I am standing with you, and you will succeed because I am here. And I represent God in your life. I'm your helper. You get it? That's the whole idea about being a helper. You listen, isn't it? Number 3. So, number 1, we said a helper does what? They see, isn't it? What others overlook. Number 2, a helper listens. Isn't it? He listens through our brokenness, isn't it? And number 3, a helper lifts you when you're too weak to move. They lift you. They do something. You know, you can see and you can listen. But the question is, will you do something about it? So one of the things that a helper actually does, they lift you up. You see, this man, back to this man, he couldn't get to the water despite trying so many times for decades. Yeah? And even if he wanted, he had no strength to move fast enough. Maureen, there are people who are better than you in doing CVs. There are people who are better than you in acing interviews. There are people who are better in dressing themselves up. There are people who are better in charisma than you. Then tell me, how will you get that job? You need what? You need a helper. You need someone who will see you. You need someone who will listen to you. You need someone who will lift you. Do you remember the lady who was interviewing me at AR? She would ask me the question, I would be midway answering the question, and she finishes for me. What was she doing? Lifting me up. Mr. Carrot, he not only took me to the place where he wanted to send me, he also took me to, dropped me with his own fuel, I would say, yeah, and prepared me for the interview along the journey. What did he do? He lifted me up. A real helper steps in when you can't push yourself. They remind you, Irene, don't give up. I'll carry you. I'll carry you if I have to. Don't give up. Yeah? Are you feeling it? Yeah? Who needs a helper? I need a helper. How many times do we get to the end? And like, I've done my best, but it's still not enough. That's when your helper steps in. He lifts you up. Like now, this AI agent, I have done my best. It has crashed today. A helper comes and lifts you up. Yeah. Ecclesiastes 4:10, it says, if either of them falls down, one can help the other up. So we are in this office environment, all of us. Do you have a helper? Do you have someone who lifts you up? Joyce? Do you have someone who has partnered with you? Like, I've got your back. You get it? I watch your back. And it's not just lip service, it is genuine. Do you have someone who knows when you're down? And they say, today you're not okay, Winnie. Today you are smiling, but this is not the smile that I know. And they lift you up and they take you out for lunch. And they even buy some flowers for you. Say, this is to say Pole. And you didn't ask for anything. They just want to lift you up. They want to lift you up. Yeah? Do you have that kind of a person? Newton? You don't have. Yeah? Because it tells us, this tells us, we can't do it alone. You can be the best in whatever you do, but life has a way of having us jaded. Life has a way of teaching us. Life has a way of exhausting us. Life has a way of showing us that we are inadequate by ourselves. You get it? So you need someone. When they are down, you lift them up. When they are down, you lift them up. When you're down, they also lift you up, isn't it? And that's something we also need to replicate here in the office. You get it? And we need to be cognizant. Some people, when they see you under pressure, maybe that's the time they put more pressure on you. You get it? But when you see your colleague down, it's not the time to laugh. It's the time to extend your hand to them and lift them up. By the way, you don't need to have anything else. Just be a simple human being. God has given you all the intuition to know that. Yeah? Your strength will fail you. Take it from me. Your strength will fail you. But your helper will not let your weakness bury you. They'll cover for you. They'll cover for you. So, a helper lifts you when you're too weak to move. You need someone, Joyce. The day you don't feel like coming out of bed, yeah? You know you've lost a major client, and I pray you don't do that. Yeah? That person will call you and say, Joyce, where are you? And you're like, and you're not picking up your phone. And they know Joyce is not okay. And they will ignite their car, drive to your house, and come and say, Joyce, I'm not leaving here until you're out of here. And then you're out of your bed, they say, I'm taking you for coffee. And they tell you, it's not over yet. And I got you. That's a helper. Who doesn't need that kind of a person? We all need that, isn't it? Eh? Yeah. So, that's number 3. Number 4, A helper unlocks a stuck season. A helper unlocks a stuck season. You know that season when you're stuck? A helper will come and unlock you. You see, this man, after 38 years old, he was that ever since he was born, he was probably affected or sick, isn't it? But for as long as he could remember, he knew that pool of waters is his solution. So he came religiously. But because it had happened so many times that he would not enter into the waters, he was stuck. There was no hope. You get it? There was no hope that he will ever enter into those waters. Maybe he even imagined he would die beside the waters. Yeah? He was stuck physically, emotionally, yeah? And even socially, because people saw him as the man with infirmity, isn't it? People see you in a certain way. For 38 years. But this is what I like about a helper. A helper brings a new question. Yeah? He brings a new question that challenges your old excuses. A helper will challenge you. They will not just lift you up. They will also challenge you. Hey, Maureen, you want to become a chief operating officer? These are the questions. Have you done this? Have you done that? Then you're like, you're asking tough questions. They will ask new questions that challenge your old excuses. Yeah? And this is what I like. A helper will not pity you. They will position you. They are challenging your mind. Right now, what am I doing? Yeah? I'm challenging, isn't it? I'm challenging. So I'm actually here in capacity as a what? As a helper. You guys have been showing, you showed up at the pool. You just need one push and you're there. You get it? So I am positioning you guys. I see all of you so successful. I see all of you so successful. Yeah? Thank you. So I'm positioning you. Winnie, you can do it. You are enough. Moses, you are enough. Yeah. Joyce, you are enough. You know that thing you've been fearing? You know what I'm talking about? That one. You are enough. Yeah? Maureen, you know it, eh?
Yes.
You know success also, we run away from success. Eh? There's the fear of success, not the fear of failure. Yeah? You can do it. We just need to ask the right questions. Same to you, Irene. And same to you. My office is very symbolic, by the way. Because 2004, November, I sat in that office on the other side of the table, being interviewed. And nobody would have prepared me. Yeah? Nobody would have prepared me. Sorry, people are trying to call me. What I did not know, I was the one predestined to sit on the other side of the table. that office reminds me of possibilities. A time comes, you are the one who will have to sit and encourage others and be the helper. You get it? Yeah. Newton, as humble as you come, God has a path for you. You only need to follow it through. And this is not about you speak the best English, you went to the best schools. No. It's about meeting your divine helper. I had CK, Dr. CK, the late Dr. CK, God bless him. He would be in boardrooms and he would be speaking on my behalf. Speaking on behalf of Nabu. And he would come, Pius, I was helping you. I'm like, what did I do to deserve all this? It is what? Favor. The thing is this, Irene. We can't earn our helper. We can't work hard enough we can't win our helpers. A helper comes through favor. A helper shows up when you don't expect. A helper is actually sent by God to you. It has nothing to do with what you do. You get it? You only need to recognize when the helper shows up. Because if you don't recognize, then you miss the opportunity. And isn't it so amazing that Jesus asked this man, do you want to get well? He says, I have no man. How many times do we answer questions like that? I have no man. I have no qualifications. I have no MBA. I have no 10 years experience. Yeah, Winnie? Am I talking to someone? Yeah. I have no. I was telling my wife the other day, when I started doing videos, and a few people would tell me, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. Like, you can't start like Martin Luther King. Day one, you can't be Martin Luther King. You get it? Those were not helpers. Those were critics. Isn't it? Eh? So, if I listened to them, I would have failed. But the others, see, just keep doing, keep going, keep going. Until we are where we are. You get it? I needed a helper by the way to do that. I needed a helper. So, a helper will unstuck you, yeah, from a season where nothing is moving, you stagnated. You get it? A helper will bring a new question. They will provoke you to move forward. That's what I'm doing right now. They will provoke you to move forward. I am provoking you, I'm telling you, you are enough. Moses, where you have reached is not enough. There is more. And I'm here to make sure you have it to the fullest. Yeah? All of you. All of you. So, I want you guys, don't stay stuck in your stories. Hey, everybody has a sad story. Yes. Everybody came from somewhere. And not all stories are pretty. Most of them are not. But enough of that story. When your helper arrives, you need to step out and you see yourself not the person who has infirmity, afflicted, but a person who is capable, a person who can step up. You get? And this, when I 2013, I was called by James Moria in his office, and he said, Pius, opportunities don't come wrapped in convenience. That's how he started the conversation. I said, what is coming next? I have no clue. And he said, you know, this business we are starting of fund management, I think you should be the CEO. You should be the one to go and run it. And I did not know what to make of it because I was already happy, yeah, with how things were going when I was in Centum. We were making a lot of money. Now I'm like, is this man chasing me without telling me? Is this a way of smooth exit? You get, eh? And I say, and I think God gave him wisdom. Say, opportunities don't come wrapped in, because what I was looking for is gone. Yes. I still remember my office being done somewhere around here. And I felt like I was leaving my family. I was like, there is only one CEO that is recognized here, so how can there be another? I felt lonely. I felt abandoned. Right? But there was no time. And I remember one thing I said, all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. So, me, this is my faith, Newton. No one can work anything against me. Nothing. You get, eh? So, because I trusted God, I said, fine. But he saw something in me. And he probably understood how I would be thinking. So he said, he challenged my thinking. So now it's a story that I tell. Yeah? And I see it today. When I give people assignments, I see the same thing. I'm like, hey, wait. Even this person is supposed to be saying thank you. But they actually see, maybe this guy doesn't like me. But what I'm actually doing is, I'm provoking them to move forward. Yeah? There's someone who came, gotten a job somewhere, and he asked me, Pius, what do you think I should do? I told them, move forward. I asked, look, the situation here, I don't think you're going to grow as fast as like if you left the company. So, Maureen, I also do that. You get, eh? Why? Because this is not about me. This is not about Nabo. This is about you and where you're going and your well-being. You get, eh? So I have to step outside my own selfish interest and say, what is good for this person? You get, eh? They were in shock. Like, they expected me to say, please stay. I said, no. Actually, when I consider all factors, I think you'll miss an opportunity if you don't do this. So, the question to all of you today is, and I want you to go thinking about this. Today, this 38-year-old man does not live on this earth. The people who are on this stage is you and I. And the question that we have to answer today, all of us, do you want to be made well? Do you want to be made well? It is our chance now to answer that question. And we might, some of us are already saying, I have no man. I have no man. But God is saying, But the man is here right now. The man is here. Newton. That moment you've been waiting, it's here. And why God has chosen how many? 6 of you here. I don't know. You are the guys at the pool now. And Jesus has showed up. And he said, do you want to be made well? And this is not just about careers. Anywhere you are stuck, anything, anywhere in your life where you are stuck, right now, I want you to meditate on it. God is asking you, do you want to be made well? And the answer is clearly not, I have no man. Because the man is here. Yeah. Proverbs 20 verse 5 says, the purposes of a man's heart are deep waters. You know, all of you have purposes in your heart. They are like deep waters. Okay? But one who has insight draws them out. Now you see, before you came, you all had purposes. You all want to. You're like, I want to get to that waters. I want to get into that pool. But I've not been getting to that pool. The purpose is there. But now God has added insight. And he says, but he who has insight draws them out. Now it's time to draw out from your purpose. Because the man is here. The man is here. Sometimes what you need most is someone. Let me repeat that. Yeah? Sometimes what you need most is someone who will not let you stay the same. Maureen, the man is here. That someone is here. And what you need is just someone who will not let you stay the same. And that's our challenge today. I remember Dr. CK when I was in the midst of Chase Bank. He looked at me so troubled, so broken. And he said, Pius, you cannot live your life like you will never face any problems. You know, it's like I woke up. It's like I was in a slumber somewhere. I wanted to live this life stress-free. Eh? Maureen, every reconciliation must come to zero balance. You get, eh? Eh? Irene, there are no employees complaining. Everybody is happy. Eh? Moses, no customer is redeeming. Everybody is happy. You get, eh? And Newton, technology, you just click the button, everything works. No bugs, no nothing. Yeah? Joyce, no client leaves. Once they enter, they are yours for a lifetime. And we need the same thing. The maths, the balance sheets are balancing, everything speckle clean. Yeah. And it is from January to December for 10 years. If nothing ever changes. Yeah? No challenges. I woke up and I realized the difference between a billionaire and the other people. A billionaire embraces challenges. The rest of us, we fight challenges. A billionaire sees opportunities in challenges. The rest of us, We want to live problem-free life. Even just Jesus had challenges. So why will you be an exception? You get, eh? So this is how life was created. Someone has to get stuck so that someone else will unstuck them. Yeah? There is no way God would have created helpers or would send us helpers if we don't need help. That's how the system works. Yeah? So, number 5. A helper pushes you into action. A helper pushes you into action. And this is interesting. Do you notice? Let's go back to this conversation. Jesus asked this man, do you want to get well? And this man says, I have no man to put me into the pool. I have no man. It's like Jesus never spoke. And then the third piece of that conversation is what even more is more exciting. He says, Jesus said to him, take your mat, yeah? Rise up, take your mat and go. Do you realize those 3 statements are not even connected? It's like, first of all, he ignored Jesus' question, and then Jesus ignored his response. And that's what helpers do. Yeah? Jesus didn't give him a pep talk. Yeah? He didn't give you a pep talk or another excuse. Yeah? He gave him a command. Rise up, take your mat, and walk. Do you need that kind of a person in your life? Yeah? John 5:8. Rise up, take your mat, and walk. He commanded him. Sometimes we just need to be commanded because we are wallowing in our own misfortunes. I remember during my difficult season, God challenging me, my children, my third born, Shemuel, he asked me, Dad, are you now a widower? I'm like, and you know, my other sons were there. And one son said, yes. I'm like, things have changed so fast. So, as it's just like I woke something in me, and I was praying. After that, I was praying. And then, just God, I love the timeliness of God. It just takes me to Isaiah 54, verse 4. It says, you shall no longer remember the reproach of widowhood. Yes, of widowhood. I'm like, at you what? And so he poses a question. I love how God poses it. Like, can you call yourself a name based on one season? And I'm like, no. He says, don't call yourself a widower. So I never ever called myself a widower. In fact, I was called for widows and widowers forums. I said, I don't belong. I'm not one of them. It's not pride. It is just what God told me. He said, if you recognize yourself, this is your brand. So when I bring someone, what will you call yourself? A married widower. You get it? He commanded me, don't call yourself a widow. Hmm? So, you single ladies, you need to find a way of calling yourself. Don't call yourself single and ready to mingle. You will just be mingling, but not settling. I am someone's wife in waiting. Take your possession. The question is, what is God seeing in you? What is your helper seeing in you? Isn't it? So, a real helper doesn't just feel for you. They have compassion, but they just don't. That's not the only thing they do. They don't just feel for you. Yeah, they push you into your next level. They will push you. They will get you out of bed. They will get you to shower. They will get you to dress up. They will get you to put perfume. They will get you out there to enjoy yourself, because they can't allow you to stay where you are. Yeah? So, Hebrews 10:24 says, Hebrews 10:24, let us spur one another on toward love and good deeds. You spur one another on towards love and good deeds. Imagine, Moses, if this office, we just lived by this one scripture. You know, sometimes, Irene, you're our HR. We work too hard, so hard to create culture.
Yeah.
But it's just one scripture. You get it?
Yeah.
Let us spur one another on toward love and good deeds. That is end of culture. You already have a very thriving workforce and workspace. Yeah? We are spurring one another. Everybody is a helper to another. Nobody is backstabbing the other. Everything is about love and good deeds. Love, good deeds. Love, good deeds. And this is the spirit of a helper. Maybe our Nabu culture should just be called a helper culture. I don't know. I'm just thinking, some things are just very simple, but we make them so complicated. You get it? The truth, when God sends a helper, don't just sit there. Move, walk, obey. Recognize when your helper comes. Newton. Pius may look like he's pushing you. Yeah? You have just done your best presentation. Yeah? And Pius is asking for more. It's not because he doesn't like you. And it's not because he wants to bring you down. It's because he's pushing you to the next level. You may close the best deal today, Joyce. But you come to me, I will congratulate you and say, now, let's go for 10B. Because we did 10B how many years ago? 13 years ago. One deal. So I will keep pushing you to go to the next level. Yeah? Because what? I'm your helper. I'm your helper. I meet so many people out there, they tell me, Pius, you helped me. I don't even know them. I don't even know their names. But they tell me how I've helped them. I'm like, this is only God who is doing this. It's not me. It took its own life. So we are just God's vessels. I'm not doing this for any accolade. I will never be paid anything out of this. You get it? But I'm here to push you to the next level. So, what are the 5 things that a helper will do for you? Let's go back, recap them. The first.
My helper sees your talents
A helper will see you, isn't it? A helper will
Listen.
listen. A helper will
Lift you.
lift you. Number 4,
Steps in your push.
will unstuck you, isn't it? And number 5, a helper will push you. A helper will push you into action. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Very helpful. So, some questions for all of you to think about. Who has God placed in your life as a helper? Who has God placed in your life that is pushing you to rise up? I want you to go and meditate on these things because you probably have the greatest blessing around you and you have no clue. You're not even appreciating it. You're probably even fighting your help. Number 2, are you humble enough to receive help when it comes? Are you humble enough to receive help when it comes? Number 3, are you being a helper unto others? Are you being a helper unto others? Those are my 3 questions to challenge all of you to move to the next level. And I want to say this. One man's I have no man. Remember what that man said? One man's I have no man could be another man's assignment. One man I have no man could be your assignment. Isn't that profound? So, how many people do you know who are saying, I have no man? Will we look at them differently from today? Because we too, sometimes we say we have no man. There is a market segment I have tried to penetrate for years without success. And I'm saying, God, I have no man. Send me a helper. Yeah. Some of the roles we do here can be very lonely, like HR. Yeah? Everybody bombards you with their problems, but you have nowhere to offload the problems. And you're saying, I have no man. Yeah. One man's I have no man could be someone else's assignment. So, in closing, you don't need everyone. You need someone. You don't need everyone. You need someone. Yeah. You don't have to do life alone. You don't have to do life alone. You don't have to fix strength or figure it out by yourself. And this is very humbling, especially for someone like me in leadership. I always want people to know, you don't have to come to me when you're strong. I actually want you to come to me when you're weak. When you have no answers. You don't have to come to me when you have all the answers. Don't come to me when you figured it out. Come to me when you can't figure it out. I'm opening my door. You get it? There are enough people who told me, Paz, I don't even know what I'm doing. That is not a career-threatening move. At least not to me. You get, eh? That is an honest person. And that person, I will do everything to help them to figure it out. So God will send you helpers. And sometimes they will carry you. They will carry you. Sometimes they will challenge you. But they will never leave you stuck. That's a helper. I pray for each one of you. And you don't have to have one helper. You can have many helpers. Just recognize your helpers. God bless all of you. Thank you.